All right. Let's talk about beliefs, and not in the way that I've spoken about beliefs in the past, but a bit more context around just the depths you can take the letting go of beliefs. Beliefs really are like skin on a snake, and they shed when you allow it to. It actually takes effort to keep beliefs going, especially beliefs that no longer serve you. There are certain beliefs that have granted us an experience that we wanted to buy into. We actually bought into the collective, and we took on belief systems. We took on limitations so we could have a different experience than eternity, than limitless being, seemingly limitless being, the very clear seeing at all times that who you were was the one infinite creator. And we find ourselves draped in matter, draped in a thickness of density of a very visceral feeling of separation. And the key word is feeling. There is no separation except a hypnotic overlay that seems to be blanketed over the whole of a collective humanity. It is an overlay, and an overlay does not mean it's real or intrinsic to you. It just means it's a lens that you're looking through. When you put on I don't know if you've ever gone skiing or you've just put on some lenses. I used to wear these big orange ski goggles when I was skiing, and still do. And you would take them off at the end of the day and completely forget that you were looking through orange lenses, these beliefs that we look through. And you think they become intrinsic to you. You believe that that is how the world is and that how reality is. And as soon as I took them off, everything was bright crystal blue, because you become so adjusted to the belief of the thickness of a lens. Things can either be rose tinted or they can be very dark and dingy, depending on what lenses you're looking through. So the belief systems, rather than going into them, like I do on videos usually, of what are the beliefs that tend to hold you back, what are the beliefs that are no longer serving you. We all know the classic ones. You don't have to go through each one meticulously. You've just got to see that ultimately it's always this. This is the only thing that's happening. And sometimes you release a belief around something and all the other fists around that. For example, let's say you release the belief that you have to be a certain way in order to be liked. Even the fact that you have to be liked by anyone except from yourself, that in itself is a belief that everyone seems to come into this collective with. They try and get into their pack mentality of an animalistic safety within groups, right? So we're always looking for validation. That's a very good example of one belief. So this belief in itself has an infinite number, really, of hands that also come and sprout from these beliefs. If you want to be liked, and you have to be liked by others, then there'll be another belief that says, well, I need to look good. Why? Because I need other people to approve of me. So can you see how within that then, I need enough money in order to make myself look good, or I need to go to the gym, I need a gym membership, I need this, I need that, I need to eat this, I can't be eating that. So you've got all of these infinite flowerings from each seed of these beliefs. When you go more and more to the root, I'm not interested about all of these flowers, all of these branches that branch from each. I'm interested in the original root, right? The original, what are the most core trunks, the most core tree trunks that everything sprouts from? It's really the most visceral, intrinsic feelings of separation, of death, of the belief in scarcity and lack. The belief in lack is the only thing that can't be real, because there's only infinite creation, and the only way that there can be a belief in lack is because infinity has managed to convince itself of this experience in order to feel what it's like to be disconnected. That's the only way. It never achieved separation. It just, someone's commenting on something. It just managed to convince itself and hide something in the disconnect from source, and it's all become very real to the being. So the context I wanted to go, and I gave you an example of these like approval ones. You've got everything comes down to approval or control. I need control over my experience because I don't feel as though I am source. I need to manage the forms and the images. Now, the context I want to bring you to is just the extent of what you can let go. You're under no law to go at the speed of anyone unless it's your own intrinsic feeling of how far you want to go in this collective, because everyone will move on. Enlightenment is guaranteed because you are source, you've never been disconnected. Ascension is guaranteed, there's no rush. But at the same time, there's no need to delay. There's no need to think, well, people are going at their own pace. I've always found that the trait that's benefited me, you could say benefited the spirit of myself, not the ego, because the ego really hasn't benefited from this. It's been really up against it, is find a teacher that you feel sees more than you. This is what I would do. I found it every single time. I'd find a teacher who knows more than me and sees more than me in this collective. I would sit at their feet, metaphorically, which usually just means watch their videos. Wouldn't bow down, but I would be like, what is it they see? Because I can sense their frequency is higher, or their frequency is just more joyous, more alive, more seeing. And I would set the intention to unhook anything that was distorting my view, or putting them on a pedestal, or putting myself down, or playing small, until I saw either the metaphysics of what they saw, or the nuance, the surrender of what they were speaking about, but never settle for anything less than the deeper freedom. It's always more expansive, it's always beckoning you over the horizon, it's always calling to you. So we're playing this balance between being and becoming. And the becoming really is a stepping into where you already are outside of time, outside of duration. You're actually stepping out of linearity, right? So this is what I want to put the message to you now, is not a feeling of, well, there's a pressure on, but just a freedom, actually a gentle invitation to go at your own pace, which could be overtaking, you could say, past teachings and letting go of teachers that no longer really are in your resonance, and pushing on, well, what more can I see? What more can I depend on myself, my sovereignty, right? This isn't like going beyond yourself. This is actually trusting more and more deeply yourself and your power and your all-seeing eye. It's really, most people are afraid of their power because they know they're the creator. They're afraid of what they would do if they were to start wielding their creatorship, right? It's truly a fear of responsibility. So people tend to stay in teachings. I remember having a laugh with someone one day, was speaking about how they always found that someone was boasting to them that they'd been to the same person's retreat for like 30 times. And it was like, that's nothing to really be proud of, because it means that, unless you really love the people, sure, but if you're in the same teachings your whole life, maybe you're getting comfortable within certain teachings that I love just gliding through, right? Just go and then pierce the ceilings yourself. Go into new topics that no one's ever gone in, different nuances, different ways. Be innovative, be unique in your expression of the absolute, which we all share as the one self. You didn't come here to just copy teachings, and you're here because you're an infinite, indestructible being coming to flower in its own unique way, like the garden of all these different flowers. There is no need to be the same flower and to ever need to decrease your bloom, right? Sure, I always say the flowers that bloom the brightest are always the most patient, but also the ones that bloom the brightest without apology, right? Without ever saying sorry for the brightness of their colour. Even if it's a shade that the universe has never seen before, a shade of blue, pink, whatever your intrinsic, unique energetic signature is, it doesn't need to be thwarted in any way. There can be a full release on its expression. All right, I love you.